So in today's crypto analysis, just as usual, I'll be talking about Bitcoin price action and what happened during last week and this last weekend. I talk about this consolidation phase, and this has created a lot of trading opportunities that I will discuss deeper today. I also want to talk about Cars Discord, and the reason is because this community is really helpful, and if you're new into this crypto environment, this is a very good place for you to go and ask questions because there's a lot of really helpful people out there. I'm very active on this community, so I'll show you more about it. So if you're curious about it, just chill and keep watching. Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, and this is your host, the Chicken Entrepreneur. So first and foremost, I would like to apologize because I couldn't upload this video yesterday. I try to upload every Monday at least this crypto analysis video, and the reason is because I was actually out of town. And if you have seen my videos, you already know that I'm Mexican, and it was the Mexico's Independence Day over the weekend. So I went out with some family and friends in order to celebrate. But anyways, I'm back now, so let's head into some of the analysis. So the first thing that I talked about in my previous video was these consolidation phases that Bitcoin has. So whenever we go through different sell-offs or we see the price moving up, we start looking at these consolidation phases. For instance, in here, we went all the way down and we start consolidating in a certain range. And the same, I mentioned in the last video, the same goes over here. We move down and then we start consolidating and we start moving very drastically within a certain range. And the same is around here, and you can see all these consolidation phases that happen after the Bitcoin price moves. It's not only the same to the downside, but also when we actually go up, we start having these consolidation phases. And if you actually remember what I said, is that the last consolidation phase that we had over here, over this last dump, actually resembles very much to what could happen right now. And after seeing this kind of sell-off over here, we're seeing that the price is actually consolidating again, meaning that the price is gonna move within certain ranges. And what I said is that the price is most likely to move between these very important resistance lines and supports. So I mentioned first of all the 6.5k level, which is a very important level, and I also mentioned the 6.25k level, which is another strong resistance. So in theory, the price should be moving around this range for quite a while before moving up or down. And we've mentioned that we have this upcoming ETF, the Binance Solid X ETF. Depending on the news, the market could react in different ways. So anyways, let's talk a little bit about the EMAs. And you know that the EMAs that I use is the 20 daily EMA, the 50, the 100, and the 200 EMA. And these are very important indicators, especially the 20 EMA, because it shows us what's happening with the price in the shorter time. And it's always a good indicator of where the price is gonna be bouncing. Because usually when we're in a downtrend, for instance, over here, we see that the price always bounces back down, and it's kept under this purple line over here. And so, well, most of the time when we actually break with enough volume, like over here, we start looking at a kind of a bull run or a movement up. And I want to bring this up because I mentioned that we were gonna be entering in this consolidation phase. And also, if we look over here, we had this bounce from the 20 EMA, which is a sign that the price is gonna be kept down. And this is very good because we're actually gonna be compacting the price now. And this means that there's gonna be a really strong movement either to the upside or to the downside. But I wouldn't expect that to happen within at least some couple days of this kind of sideways movement. So if you have seen previous videos, you know that I love to trade with trend lines, and I love to trade with these kind of channels. And also, I've always told you to follow the path of least resistance. And something that I've been talking about in this Discord community is that a lot of us were actually shorting from 6.5k, and the reason was not only this 20 EMA that we see over here, but this consolidation phase. So this was actually a good opportunity to short, and I will mention a little bit more about it. But as you've seen, actually the same from past video, we were talking about this kind of compressing zone, and we actually broke upside, and this could have also been a potential good opportunity to actually have long in here all the way to close to 6.6k level. I think if you're in BitMEX, you would have actually reached that price. But anyway, that's the reason why I love to trade these kind of trend lines, because there's a lot of momentum getting accumulated in there, and usually when you break these levels, or when you break up or down, what you get is a really good movements that you can actually catch and profit from them. And there's a reason why I always leave these trend lines drawn over here, and the reason is because there's always kind of like a price history. There's always like a memory that the price has that always bounces from those important levels. And for instance, over here, over the last sell-off, we saw that the price started bouncing over this line, and as I mentioned in previous videos, this line comes from these lows over here, and we've seen that we've been creating kind of these higher lows, which indicate a possibility of an uptrend, of a reversal, which we are actually seeing over here. But that doesn't mean that we cannot actually go down. And one of the things that I could be expecting, or I would like to happen, is if the price not only breaks this level, comes a little bit lower and retest this 6k and 5.9, 5.8k level. And the reason is because there is a high demand on that zone. I actually have a lot of pending orders to long over here, but I'm not gonna jump the trigger just now until I see the price moving into that specific area. And the reason is, let's go deeper into the hourly chart and why I think that could happen. And as I mentioned before, I'm just gonna briefly explain how you can trade all these kind of trend lines. And here specifically, I saw that the price was actually moving up and creating this trend line, and I was talking around in Discord, and I told a lot of people that I was gonna actually short over here, and what I did was actually opening a short once after I saw this breakout to the downside, and I actually shorted at 6.5k level. And the reason is because I know that there is a lot of energy and momentum accumulating over this trend line, and once you break, you always try to retest that line and then go back down. So I actually shorted here. I waited for a long time because the price actually moved back down over here, but we saw that this Ichimoku cloud on the hourly chart actually was sustaining the price, and it was actually stopping it from going even lower. Because once you have these huge trend lines, it is very likely that you will go below the next level, and we have this 6.5k level over here, and the next level was the 6.25k level around here, and that was actually where I closed my position. But anyways, now that we're over here, what I want to analyze is this pennant that's forming, and the reason is because we could have we will most likely have a breakout either to the top side or to the downside, and if it were to the upside, we would have this kind of bar formation forming on. But what I'm really looking at right now is the possibility of breaking to the downside. And the reason is because if we compute the target, which is basically just grabbing the pole over here and putting it at the point of the breakout, we would see that we're actually gonna be testing this 6k level. And that's one of the things that I have been expecting the price to do, and I'm really looking forward to, because I think this could potentially be really bullish if this were to happen. And I mentioned in the last video the specific reason why this would be bullish is because if we can push the price down, but the RSI over here keeps well above this last low, then we could create a really strong bullish divergence. And I've explained that whenever you have, for instance, a low over here in the RSI and you're forming a higher low, for instance, but in the price you have a low over here and you have potentially a lower low, you're creating this divergence, which means that the price is well oversold and it's to actually correct. So that's something that I'm looking forward to, and of course this is just speculation at this moment in time because we don't know whether this pennant is gonna break down or it's gonna break up. But it's definitely a possibility that I'm looking at, and I already have some pending orders expecting that. I mean, the other thing that could happen is that we actually form this kind of bar formation and move back up. And this is something that happens a lot with Bitcoin price, that whenever we have a really big movement to the downside, we consolidate for a while and then we actually go back to the point that we were. Well, anyways, just to summarize my viewpoint of Bitcoin, what I'm expecting is the price to actually break down from this pennant, actually test the 6K level, the 5.9K level, sort of that area in order to buy and actually go even higher. Of course, I'm stating that there's different possibilities to what could happen, which is that we can actually break up, continue in this consolidation phase. But anyways, right now I would like to talk a little bit more about the Cars community on Discord. So this is the Cars community on Discord, which is the moon you can see over here. And the reason I'm bringing this is because you've always been able to find this on this link on the description. But it is very important if you're someone new to this kind of environment, the cryptocurrency environment. It's good to join a community of this kind because you can start asking questions. If you don't know something, there's a lot of helpful people around here. And there's a lot of different topics around the Cars Discord. Well, the main one that I use is this live BTC chat, and this is basically where you talk about what is actually happening. There's a lot of people trading right now. For instance, here you can see that I've posted and I was talking about what I just mentioned in this video, which was this pennant and this consolidation phase. And we've been talking about trading. For instance, that last trading opportunity, which was which I shorted from 6.5K level, I mentioned here, and some people did the same as well. So it's always good to hear someone else's opinion in order to form your own shaped opinion and your own shaped analysis, because it's very good to have different sides of the story and then make your own. But anyways, there's a lot to do of here. There's off-topic things. There's more on general technical analysis on other cryptocurrencies. It even has like a meme section, and I will only enforce you to actually go in here. And I only wanted to mention that if you actually, because I'm very active on this community, so if you want to actually send me a message or anything here, you just have to put the @ and just put the Cheeky Entrepreneur, and then you can choose my name and I can answer some of your questions if you're around here. So anyways guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, and only if you did, mind subscribing, maybe also like the video. You know that you can find me in my other social media. I got an Instagram account where I put all the highlights from my videos, as well as some posts on entrepreneurship. You can find all the links related to my channel down in the description below as well. And just before I go, I would like to remind you all, stay smart, stay bold, but most important of all, stay cheeky. Take care.